Welcome back to Wheel of SNES, episode or season 5, episode 8. What episode number is that, Josh?
58.
Alright, so I guess I should, if you've not been here before, we are a Super Nintendo podcast. There's a million of them out there. A million of them that's better than us. But the one thing that we don't pick the good games.
Yeah.
We let a randomizer wheel choose the game for us. And so...
makes us stand out a little bit.
So... we get to play some games that we never heard of, this one included. This week, Josh, we drew The Adventures of Mighty Max, which I'm just going to call it Mighty Max.
Yeah, I kind of want to call it Mighty Mouse, but I know that's not the right thing.
Yeah, that's slightly different. I've got a little bit of background on Mighty Max that probably makes a little more sense to bring up. I guess I'll go through the details of the game and read the back of the box. And we're just going to read the back of the box.
Let's read back of the box.
Wear the cap, be the Max, save the planet. That sounds a whole lot like some Captain Planet.
Yeah, it sure does.
Wear the cap, be the Max, save the planet. You've seen every episode. You know all his moves. The question is, are you ready to wear the magic cap? Dust off your traveling shoes, it's time to play Mighty Max. Skullmaster has scattered pieces of the Mighty Doom weapon all over the planet. Go solo or double the action in two-player split-screen mode and embark on an earth-saving scavenger hunt through time. Time travel to 50 different worlds, crush Skullmaster's evil minions, save the planet, have more fun than watching the cartoon.
Okay.
What's your first thoughts of that, Josh?
Did not know there was 50 different levels, I guess.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, no.
Alright. So, this was released in 1994. It did not tell me what month in 1994.
Just 94?
Just 1994.
Just 94. Okay.
It was released on Sega and Super Nintendo. It was developed by WJS Design. They were credited with, according to Wikipedia, they had about 17 games from 1985 to 1994. A lot of these games went from Amiga, Atari ST, a few Nintendo games. None of that I ever heard of. I don't know if I would say this is their most famous out of 17, but it's probably up there. So that kind of lets you know that WJS did a whole lot. You know?
Yeah.
Produced by Ocean Software. And Ocean pretty much has a ton of licensed games that they've done.
So we've played Ocean before, haven't we?
And we have.
Okay.
So I would say that you look at half their titles they have, at least on Super Nintendo, is licensed games from movies and cartoons. And the other half was... just some games that we played. They did Mr. Nuts.
Was one of them the Untouchables?
No, they wasn't.
Okay.
They did a Worms game. They did a Soccer Kid. Kid Cleats.
Kids Cleats, I was about to say.
And they did the PAL version of NBA Live 95, so we didn't get to play that one.
Okay.
And they did like a Micro Machine game. So they did some stuff, you know.
They did some stuff. That's the best way to put that. They did some stuff. Not a lot of stuff, some stuff.
So, do you know who Mighty Max is, Josh?
No, I have no idea who Mighty Max is.
I had no idea even playing this game until I started doing the research, and I'm like, oh shit, I know what Mighty Max is. I've sold Mighty Max.
Oh, really?
It's a toy line. Yeah, it says it's a cartoon. The cartoon was based off the toy line, so kind of like, I think it was...
The Transformers.
The Spider-Man animated series.
Yeah.
They made a toy line and based a cartoon off of it, which normally doesn't
pan out
very well. So what Mighty Max is the boys' version of Polly Pocket. So Polly Pocket was kind of, you had the little doll
yeah,
house.
I know what Polly Pocket is.
So I remember I actually sold a Mighty Max playset that was like a skull, like Skullmaster's lair, and you opened it up and it had like little, goblins or little monsters and stuff in it. And so that's what Mighty Max is.
Okay.
I had no idea they based a cartoon off of it. But let me read you a little bit about what the cartoon is based off of.
Is it? Okay. Is it good? Is it terrifying?
Well, it's weird. But it kind of helps a little bit on how weird the game is.
Okay.
So, I guess this is according to the cartoon that I've never watched. Somehow Max gets a statue, like a bird statue, that has ancient writing on it, hieroglyphs or something. And I don't know how he translates it, but somehow he translates it. And the translation that he reads is, "You have been chosen to be the cat bearer. Go to the mini mart and wait for a sign." So that's what the hieroglyph said.
Go to the mini mart
Yes.
and wait for a sign?
Yes.
That'd be about as me going, "Hey, you've been chosen. Your sign is 57. All right, does that mean every Heinz 57 ketchup you see?"
Dude, Heinz 57, underrated, son. It is on fire. So he gets an ancient thing in hieroglyphs that says, "Hey, you're the cat bearer. Go to the mini mart, wait for a sign." He's kind of shocked by what happens. He drops the statue, it breaks, and in the statue, you know what there is? There's a fucking hat with an M on it.
So he's Mario.
So this...
He's Mario!
So this, I call it a hat, this cap...
It's Mario!
...can make a portal where he could travel across space and time. So essentially, somebody could have... I'm thinking, why would the hieroglyphs say that? Maybe somebody traveled from ancient Egypt and gave him... Like, it could have been a time traveler. They were saying, "Hey, we need to get this back to Max." But, you know, kind of a fucked up basis for a cartoon.
No, it's not. There's worse cartoons out there. SWAT Cats. Street Sharks.
Hey, you keep Street Sharks out of your
Street Sharks is the shit, though.
So, yeah. So that's kind of Mighty Max. So I guess it kind of doesn't really explain.
But
you kind of understand.
Yeah, you sort of get it.
The
only thing we need now is we need 5 people. You have Earth, Fire, Water, Air, and Heart to summon Captain Planet.
Well, I kind of feel like this is the levels that you got in here. So we're going to call this a side-scroller. There's platforming aspects, but it's more of an adventure game. I think because of the way the gameplay is, it's more adventure game with platforming aspects, but, you know, call it what the hell you want.
Yeah, call it what you want.
It is, you know, loosely based off the TV series.
Loosely based off the TV series.
I guess you just, I mean, the cartoon series is, TV series is kind of loosely based off the damn
toy line.
So you just pretty much make up whatever shit you want. There ain't no rule book for them, is kind of what I gather in this. So, it's a side-scrolling game. You go through places like jungle, pyramids or Aztec or whatever, volcano, water, there's caves. So it's not quite Captain Planet, but you cover all the bases. He's got a gun that shoots balls that either hits the enemy or bounces off the wall.
Okay.
So I'm pretty confused on why the basis is, but essentially you're going through a stage gathering pieces of a machine.
Yeah.
It's just like random pieces of what looks like a machine.
Yeah.
And there is a portal in these stages, and you're trying to find the pieces and throw them into the portal.
Yeah,
and
that's about it.
And then once you throw 3 pieces or however much it is, you jump in the portal, and that level's over. You go to the next one.
Yeah.
Or to the next stage, maybe not the next level.
It's about what it sounds like.
So, to be honest, it kind of reminds me a lot of Mr. Nuts, except, you know, the way the level design is, but not necessarily trying to find specific things, you know.
I'm going to go ahead and butt in here. Mr. Nuts, sprint button was a lie.
Okay. Is there anything... I don't know that I have anything more build up on this, Josh. Do you have anything on your heart, or do you want to go ahead and make and break?
Let's go ahead and jump in that make it and break it, bud. Listen, I'm all for that, because I'm not going to lie. I did not beat this game.
Oh, yeah. I didn't beat this game either. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you, my make it list isn't too big.
Nope. It sort of gave me motion sickness.
Well, here's a plus. I guess if you're a Mighty Max fan, You got 3 playable characters you can choose from.
Yeah.
Don't think it matters one damn bit.
I don't think it does either.
I mean, at least when you're on Final Fight and you're going between Guy and Hager or Cody, you have little differences, you know. But, you know, either way, you want to play with one of the dudes or chicks or things or whatever pronoun they go by, and then more than
whatever pixelated design.
I'm going to throw this out here. I don't think the music was that bad.
That was going to be my go-to. That's my number one, is the music wasn't bad. It wasn't terrible.
But there was a weird thing with the music. It was almost like it had a metal sound to the end, like an echo. It's like, that's weird.
Yeah.
It was like, I don't know, like a synth sound behind it.
I agree with that.
It sounded like something, it was like feedback from a computer or something.
It sounded like very bad reverb.
Yeah, because it was like, I don't think it was meant to be there, but it was. But the music was okay. Yeah.
And I'm honestly fine with reverb because I play the electric guitar. So reverb doesn't really bother me. And in this, it sort of went okay, especially for like the first 5 levels that I played, because I couldn't play no more.
Oh, you got farther than me with 5 levels.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm not going to lie. I powered through this.
I put in here, too, that I like that your bullets bounce off walls. Yep. Because I fucking need that.
Yep. I need all the help I can get.
At least there was, even though I have the heads-up display in the break it, you have a little arrow that if you could manage to take the time to look at, that kind of pointed you in the direction that you needed to go to get to a portal or whatever. That was kind of cool. And, I only got one more thing to mention, Josh.
Let's say that was kind of cool. I will say this in defense of it.
Okay, defend away.
I appreciate them trying to make interesting levels, because I made it to 5. They did do variety. I give them credit in that. Now, that's all I got, and I can immediately turn that into the break it.
Well, hang on. I've got one.
I know. I'm letting you go.
Here's probably the best part. And this is a best one for me. Music is probably up there. Respawns after death were quick.
Yep.
So, you know, hey, if it was slow, I'd have definitely been out on it quicker than I was. But at least when I died, I felt like I could kind of pick up where I left off.
Yeah.
Fairly easy.
I give you that one.
And that's it. So if you want to bring us on in to break it, Josh, you go right ahead.
Okay. What the fuck was up with the enemies and the levels in this?
Okay.
Like, I give them credit for the design, but my God.
I've got in here as it probably covering it all. Man, well, I got level design as a mess.
It is.
I hated it.
I give them credit for the changing of the levels, because apparently there's 50 of them. So that only means that they're changing about 50 fucking levels. Make them sort of unique, which is awesome. But the design itself and the enemies was absolutely fucking miserable.
Well, what was the problem with it then? Because this is all gonna, it's gonna snowball. I do have in here as like shooting the enemies sucked, mostly due to the enemies and the shooting mechanism, and that goes into the level design.
Yeah,
I guess they were trying to be cutting edge and kind of like some of these other games that it wasn't on a plain line, there was hills and stuff. But man, there's so many enemies. The respawn shooting wasn't great. Trying to aim to hit wasn't great.
No, it was terrible.
That added to the level design being a mess. The whole idea of the game in general was pretty fucking confusing.
Yeah.
So I don't know that I really ever knew what the hell I was doing or what the pieces necessarily was to defeat the skullmaster or whatever.
The skullmaster. Forgot about him.
One thing I absolutely despised. I even got to the little ones. These are just the ones that are... This is like right off the bat. One thing I despised is the whole grab and throw mechanic. Whether you're throwing the damn thing, you're throwing the enemies, like, it was fucking trash.
Yeah.
give me. I mean,
the controls were absolutely fucking atrocious.
And hey. Here's another thing that kind of goes in that, to me, it felt like kind of Amiga-ish, to be honest.
It did. It felt very Amiga.
Because, one thing that most Amiga games have that I don't know what the fuck they do? The goddamn power-ups.
Yeah.
Who the fuck knows? There's goddamn rings. Yep. Like, are we playing Sonic? We got we got little Sonic? Glowing balls. I'm like, them motherfuckers gonna hurt us?
Is it Pac-Man?
I don't know what the hell they do. I mean, I know they give you points. And then all of that... And the fucking jumping is completely nuts.
Yeah.
The jumping is...
Some would say Mr. Nuts.
Mr. Nuts could not jump that. So on top of this, and the level design, like in most levels, you can say, oh, well, there's no place to jump over here. So you're trying to do a little bit of a platforming aspect, and then you jump real high, and you're like, wait, there's still shit up there. And then you're trying to focus on a shitty platforming mechanism on top of that. Heaven forbid, I'm just trying to jump like normal, and I jump up high enough that I'm jumping up underneath the enemies and hitting them.
The fucking jump in this, dear Jesus, dude, you had spring shoes or something.
Was that, like Ratchet and Clank, where they had like anti-gravity shoes or something like that?
Yeah,
that's like what he fucking has. On top of that, the scoring and the heads up and the level and the lives up at the top was horrible. I mean, it was so small you barely noticed it. So if there's anything you actually needed off that, good luck.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, okay, so this brings it back into Super Putty. Super Putty I loved because of the whole scoring aspect. I love how chaotic it was because it was an Amiga game that felt arcadish. This was an Oceans game that felt like an Amiga game that probably should have been a cabinet.
I don't even know that I would say that, but there was a lot going on in it, just like Super Putty. More than what I wanted to be.
It was bad.
That was pretty much most of my big stuff. It's just one after another. And to be honest, is like the level design, even if it wasn't a mess, the jumping was so fucked up.
The jumping was terrible.
The jumping,
the controls were still bad.
Yeah, then you try to figure out what the hell you're supposed to do in this damn game.
Was terrible.
I got a couple things that was just the little ones. So okay, they make this whole screen to pick your 3 characters. Boy, them characters look fucking horrible.
They looked bad.
They look
Dude,
horrible.
We have not torn apart sprites in a while. These were absolutely fucking terrible. Some of the worst sprites that I've seen in a while. And I don't even think we tore apart Untouchables with the sprites.
No. Now, and I will say, the game was not fun at all for me. Like, I had to force myself to play this.
Yeah, I did too.
The game was confusing. The gameplay was a mess. There was nothing that I really thought that it did super well. I don't know if you could call this like a cash grab. I think it was probably, Ocean buying up a license like they've did a million times before.
Yeah.
I mean, every now and then. I mean, it's probably like Will Ferrell movies, What, every 3 or 4 you probably get a good one, I know from the moment when I realized, before I even played the game, I'm like, I absolutely fucking hate this. So I clicked on it, I turned the game on, it powers up, I go to the screen, I'm like, I just want to see what the options are.
Yeah.
So I pick the options, and I'm looking, and it's like, easy, medium, hard, whatever. I can't remember what it was. So then I hit exit, and then I go to hit the start game, what I thought was start game, and then look, I hit the options again. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Exit, go up. Hit the button again. I'm in options. So I'm like, I can't even goddamn start the game easy. I'm like...
Yep. They didn't want you to play this game.
It was like trying to just get the damn cursor back to where I thought I was. Yeah. And I thought the moment that the third time I entered the options I was like, we're in for a doozy, boys.
Yeah,
we're in for a doozy.
Yeah.
Like, you can't even get the fucking game, it seems like, to boot up right for you.
And that should have been a major hint in this game.
So, I mean, I'm going to go on a wild guess that obviously I never played with Polly Pocket. I've had some Mighty Max shit that I've sold. I never played with Mighty Max. I do remember the commercials, and it did look kind of cool. But I bet it was a shitty toy, and I bet the fucking series was shitty.
just as bad.
And you know what? The game is pretty shitty. So at least it's uniform across the board. A shitty fucking thing altogether.
I like the way, yeah, it was just shitty across the board. It's just bad. Don't even bother.
I don't even know that I got anything else for it, Josh. It disgusts me more than anything, to be quite honest. I think you're probably right. It was like the level design of Mr. Nuts. It's like playing Super Putty, but not as fun. Nearly as fun.
Yeah, no. I mean, okay. So, Super Putty had its pros and cons for me. I thoroughly enjoyed it because it was an arcade-style game for Amiga, which is what I expected from them. The only thing that I did not like about Super Putty was, I hate to say it, it's what you said. The instant death spots.
I don't like no death spots.
Yeah, and instant death spots are the worst. Mr. Nuts could have been an okay game if the sprint button was not a fucking lie. You did not run faster. You didn't.
It did make you jump farther.
Who would have known?
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I was on the internet trying to figure out how do I get past this jump on like 2-2 or level 1-3, whatever it was. And they're like, hold the sprint button down. I was like, I ain't sprinting.
Yeah,
I hit the button and I'm not sprinting. And I jump and he flies farther. And I'm like, oh shit, that's the key to it.
Yeah, shouldn't be a sprint, long jump. But this game failed in every aspect of that. And I mean, don't get me wrong. We know that we're going to play over 700 of these fucking games.
Yes.
We know there's going to be some absolute trash in these games.
Yes.
The Untouchables have proven that.
Yes.
But my brain cannot comprehend a terrible game for some unknown reason. Because my brain still functions like, it's a game. It's going to be enjoyable. It's supposed to be there for fun. And you play this piece of shit.
Yeah, I've not even got the words right now for how bad this game is. It's not as bad as Untouchables.
No, it's not as bad as Untouchables.
It's pretty fucking bad.
It's pretty terrible.
Like, I'm thinking right off the bat. In Speed Racer, I don't know which is worse.
It's a flip of a coin. That's what I was sitting here thinking. It's like,
I think I've got in my mind where I know it is in my ranking. But it's just like, it's so shitty. I can't even really talk about how shitty it is because all of it's broken. And it's not like broken like Untouchables was so broken. You could go on about how broken it is. It's just like, it's broken. It's not fun.
Controls are terrible.
I mean, I'm not going to say it's broken. It's just very poorly executed, I guess.
Controls are
broken is at least fun because you're like, you can't do this. And
you can laugh about it.
It's just poorly executed.
Yeah. So you can laugh about broken. This here is you're like, oh, so I jumped 20 fucking stories. I die on enemies I can't even see.
On the cartoon, I wonder, can the guy jump that high? Because, I mean...
you know what? Hang on a second.
I don't think he does. But,
I'm about to figure something out.
Well,
keep talking.
Well, while we go to figure out if he can jump high in the cartoon, do you have anything left on your heart with it, Josh, as far as break it?
God damn it.
See, jump high?
We can watch all 86 episodes on YouTube.
Oh, I have that in some of the fun facts. All right, we're wrapping up break.
So we watched American Gladiators.
Oh, goddamn, dude. I was in on it. Like, dude. I tell my wife when I wake up and it's like my first day off, she'll make me coffee. Perfect fucking, my wife has it set out, has me babied up like a biggity bitch.
Yep.
I get my cup of coffee and I'm like, oh, I'm just so tired. I'm going to drink a cup of coffee.
And watch something.
Normally I'll be like, I'm going to drink a cup. I'll get my second cup, which will normally finish the pot because she don't drink.
Yeah.
And so she'll just make enough for 2 big-ass cups.
Yeah.
So normally the first one, I sit there, I drink it and chill.
Yep.
Decompress. The second one, I get it and I move it around. A lot of times it gets cold on me and I end up pouring it out.
Why do you got to decompress whenever you wake up?
I'm preparing myself for the day.
Okay.
I'm visualizing, which is normally my excuse for watching YouTube, which is exactly what I did. And then I've turned it on, and goddamn American Gladiators fucking algorithm got me.
Well,
and so,
see,
I didn't drink 2 cups. I drank 2 pots of coffee. I spent 4 hours watching goddamn Gladiators. I texted you at work going be like, dude, like, I'm watching the championships.
Well, see, remember, I texted you, damn.
Yes.
As soon as I got home, I'm like, so this is going to be wanting to watch American Gladiators. Then I text you, like, I think it was like, what, midnight or something? I go, bro, American Gladiators is on YouTube.
I'm going to go on a wild stance that Mighty Max on YouTube is not better than American Gladiators.
Oh, it better not be. I'll be mad.
All right. So, I've got fun facts, Josh. I've got 2 reviews.
Okay.
I just went price charting. I didn't go to eBay.
Okay. I'll tell you this. Spoiler alert. The fun facts are better than the game.
Okay. You are right. And there's no speed run.
We could be the first.
Well, there are people on YouTube that are doing run-throughs of it. And some of these guys are doing a speed run and put it on there. I guess they don't submit it to
actual speed run.
Maybe they don't fulfill the
criteria.
And I could understand just wanting to play it through, and then you don't feel like doing the shit to submit it and all that. Like that is a little bit of work, but whatever.
Yeah.
If you want to beat it and submit it, like I think you would technically have to. Speedrun don't even have it listed.
Really?
So I feel like you would have to email Speedrun, which I think they do have that, where you can say, hey.
You don't have this game.
This game, can you add it? Or, hey, this game you've got is 1 player, you don't have as the 2-player co-op. Can you imagine playing this game as 2-player co-op?
Fuck that, dude.
And like, everything that was in the break, it would be way worse.
Oh, yeah. See, and that's the thing is, we have several...
It's split screen.
Yeah, several games we played. What could have been 2-player. And then you probably could have had fun with it. Mm-hmm. This game would have been... No.
But,
my motion sickness... And I don't get motion sickness all that much, but... God damn, that would have been just as bad.
So, yes, if you love this game, please email Speedrun. Tell them to add it. And put... There's better things to do with your life than play this game. I'm just going to tell you. Go play the Miss Pac-Man on hard co-op or whatever it was than this.
Yeah.
And you know how I feel about Pac-Man.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to jump into some reviews here.
Play the Jetsons over this game.
Yeah, that's true. So, I only had 2 reviews of it. Electronic Gaming Monthly, they had a 5-person... the way they review is 5 people reviewing. And I guess they average it out. Out of 10, they rated it...
Okay, wait. So, 5 people review it out of 10 stars. Should you not have 10 people?
I don't know.
So... Okay.
Well, I don't know. I'm guessing, and I don't know how Electronic Gaming Monthly does it. I would imagine one guy's probably more technical. One person, I don't know. Maybe it's the Captain Planet of a video game review. One of them's got to be the fucking hard,
One of them's got to be the technical. One of them's just for the entertainment.
They did not say whether they played the Sega or the Super Nintendo. From what I gather, it's the exact same. But the 5-person review rated it 4.8 out of 10, calling it incredibly slow and unappealing. So they are number one.
What the fuck was slow about this game?
It is unappealing, and they must have played the Sega Genesis because it was fast as fuck. Boy.
Yeah,
it is fast as fuck, boy. Woo-hoo! Woo-hoo! But Next Generation did the Super Nintendo one, and Next Generation's magazine. Did not sell out for the review. They rated the Super Nintendo version 1 out of 5.
Yep.
I guess you don't give it a 0. That's probably like.
Can you get a half?
I don't know. I feel like 1 is. You got to do something bad to go less than 1.
Oh yeah.
But they called it awful and not fun, and that's
100% it.
Next Generation's spot on.
So I want to know, what's the Sega one? Is it slower? Do you not jump as high?
I don't think so.
But how the fuck was this a slow game?
I don't know, Josh.
Oh, the world. It baffles me.
Of course, they're working in like 1994 time, which is kind of like Mega Man in your younger age, I guess. I don't know.
Mega Man was a slow-ish game, but it was hard as fucking dicks.
Fun facts.
Okay.
Although it's supposedly incredibly hard to find physical copies of the cartoon, the full series is on YouTube.
Yep.
Spoiler alert, it is very open about being horrible quality. I don't know if somebody's dubbed it off their VHS or what, but the rights owners have allowed this. The last time this show aired on TV was in the mid-90s on the USA Network.
Okay.
And from what I gather, without going too far into it, fact-checking me, they got one season in. They got halfway through the second season, canceled them during the middle of the season. One of their big problems was the cartoon was kind of dark. And it was hard for them. I think
dark as in people dying, or dark as contrast?
No. I wouldn't say it's people dying, but I guess a little more scary, a little more risky as far as maybe there was some death in it.
Okay.
But so.
Well, hell, dude, X-Men 94, first episode, more fucking dies in front of you.
Well, here is one of some of the crazy shit is I don't know how the fucking cartoon tanked because they had some fucking banging people.
Oh, really?
So I don't know any of the voice actors.
Peter Cullen.
No. Jason Marsden was the original choice for Max. He was the original voice actor. So I don't know who Marsden is. So I'm like, well, let me look at what he's did. He voiced, this is just between video games and cartoons.
Let's say name sounds familiar.
He voiced Gummy Bears cartoon.
Okay.
In later seasons. Baldur's Gate. The Batman. TV show Erie, Indiana. Skyrim. Did 2 Fallout games. 1 Final Fantasy game. Was part of Full House. G.I. Joe Renegades. A Goofy movie. Knights of the Old Republic.
Who was he in the Goofy movie?
I don't know. There was credits. I'm just like, well, he's worked in some successful stuff. Knights of the Old Republic, Peter Pan and the Pirates, Tarzan, Teen Titans, X-Men Destiny, and Zachary Binks off Hocus Pocus. Ain't that what Binks is? Zachary Binks?
Yeah.
So, dude's had a pretty damn good career.
Yeah, he had a solid career.
And it doesn't stop there. On the cartoon, one of the bad guys was voiced by Tim Curry.
How can you fuck up Tim Curry?
I know you probably don't know him. Another one of the voices on there was Richard Mole. How I forever loved Richard Mole was he was Bull and not Corey. He was this big, tall, bald guy.
Oh, shit.
I mean, it looked like he was like 7 foot tall. I don't know how tall he really was. And then Gordon Bresack did some of the writing. Which he's won Emmys.
Yeah,
he's did voicing solid. And writing and producing on stuff. His most famous is probably Animaniacs and Pinky and the Brain.
Yep. I knew him from those two, and those two were solid fucking cartoons.
So you literally had people that would essentially tell you that they piss excellence, and you put them all in one spot. And I think that is a testament to how shitty the cartoon was, how probably bad and shitty the fucking toy was, and
how shitty and bad the game was.
Video game is.
What are we doing tonight, Brain?
Something we do every night, Pinky.
Take over the world.
All right. So, I just thought it was kind of funny when I started looking. It was like, man, there's some successful people.
There's some solid. Which
I will say, I don't give a shit about Mighty Max, but I bet there's a bunch of girls or dudes, whatever, that have very fond memories of Polly Pocket. Polly Pocket was a big deal back.
Polly Pocket was huge.
So maybe if it's a Polly Pocket game or Strawberry Shortcake, might have been fucking fun. Mighty Max sucks.
Yeah, I agree. And my whole thing is with Tim Curry. Tim Curry is fucking phenomenal. How can you have something bad with him?
And then to top it, just to say they got their episodes on YouTube, but they're shitty quality.
Yeah.
So it's like everything is shitty quality with this fucking...
Yeah, everything's just shit.
Alright.
It's like they're trying to erase it from the world.
Well, I'm not putting it in a time capsule with limited space. Mighty Max is not making it for future generations.
I agree. I agree. Power Rangers, though, they will.
Yeah. All right. Gonna be super quick, I guess, here. I've run out of stuff. The content is not there with this game.
No.
As far as the game itself, how much would you guess a loose copy of this?
Dude, if you tell me this game is more than $15,
it's not.
That's okay. I was about to say that's going to be absolutely ridiculous.
Well, okay.
Is it $15? Is it more than $15 with shipping?
Possibly.
Okay. I will accept that.
It looks like they track this at one sale a week, and they say it's trending $1.05 down. So you're pretty well right on top of it. Right now, of course, like I say, they say it's fell $1.05.
Everything about this thing is failing.
They're tracking it at $14.43.
Okay.
So, okay. Call it 15 roughly. I'm okay with calling it that.
But I'm okay with actually calling it 16 if you count some type of shipping.
Complete. What do you think it runs, Josh?
37.
You're way low.
I hate people so much. I'm gonna go 62.
You're low. A little bit.
Why?
I don't know, man.
Why?
It's the illness, brother.
84.
Complete. They show one sale a month at $74.44.
This game is not worth that. Even complete, this game is not worth that. George, your people are ruining the world.
A new copy. What do you think it runs?
My math.
There's no... You can't use your math. There's no rhyme or reason. No rhyme or reason.
I don't like this.
So you go from basically 15 to 75.
I don't like this. Okay, hang on. You said my math doesn't work, so that could mean one or two.
I ain't saying it don't work. It doesn't work with this. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that means one or two things. Either the new copy is like $10 more,
or $1,000.
Yeah,
okay.
Or like something outrageous. Okay, got one question to help me out here.
Okay.
Am I going to need another shot of Honey Gentleman Jack after this?
No. I mean, you can have a shot of Honey Gentleman
Jack. Okay.
But I feel like if you're saying the jump from $15 to $75 from loose to complete to what the new is, if you're going to accept that gap, I would say this is appropriate.
If I do that math, that's roughly, let's see here, 2 is 30, 4 is 60, 3 would...
carry the 1.
Yeah, carry the 1. So 5 would be roughly $75.
$75 is what the complete roughly is.
So if I times this by 5, you're looking at, let's see here, 320-ish, 350-ish.
You're pretty damn high.
Okay.
So it's swinging on the low side.
The lower end of that. So I'm on 150-ish.
Pretty close.
Okay.
They track one per year selling new at 169.63. So you literally are multiplying 5 is what you said from 15 to 75,
and then multiply it by 2.
Basically 2.
Yeah.
Ironically, one sale a year they've got a graded one at 220.
Why?
A box one selling a year at $37.50, which I kind of get. Boxes are hard to come by. Manual at $5. I'll go ahead and tell you.
Did you buy this game?
No, I have not. Most manuals I have. I bet you I've got a stack of probably about 1,500 manuals extra for games that I don't have.
You do have a lot of manuals.
And pretty much any manual that I own for any system I can get $4.99 to $7.99 out of. So the manual being $5, the box actually seems legit, which is weird that, technically you could buy the box and the manual for $42 and then buy the loose copy for $15, and that's what, $67. I guess that comes close to your $75, but
no, add shipping in there for all three of them, so right. You're about even.
So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can see it, but at the same time,
okay, we're just gonna round it up. A loose copy of this is $15.
Give me the fucking money.
$7.50.
You could give me $1 for this, and I would fucking take it.
The correct answer is you take the money.
But your illness takes over, and you make this world a worse place with your people.
I would take the game because this is why. I don't own the game, number one. But then when people come over and they see my Super Nintendo games or my Nintendo or all my geeky shit in the room, they're going, oh, Nintendo 64. Oh, I'm the best at GoldenEye. Oh, I love, F-Zero. Everybody's just going to carry up.
The original Smash Brothers.
Super Nintendo. Man, I was so good at it. I could beat
Mario
any game.
Kart,
Mario. Let me put a game in for you. Have you ever played Mighty Max? Show me how damn good you are. And for me, it would be more of a fuck your buddy type deal.
If you want that.
Not that I have any friends other than you that come over.
Untouchables. If you want to go worse games, get fucking Untouchables or Speed Racer.
For $7.50, I feel like I could buy 2 sports games that I don't own, and I'd be okay. If you told me for $7.50 I could buy NBA Live 95 and 96, I'd do that.
Oh yeah, 100%.
If you told me I could buy Hit the Fucking Ice, and what was another shitty sports game we played?
Dig and Spot Volleyball.
It wasn't
terrible, but it was good. Soccer Shootout.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, one of them soccer games. I would buy both of them for $7 over having this game. It was bad.
Again, your people will ruin the world with your illness.
Well, I don't know what you wanted me to say about that, Josh.
Get help.
It's not on my to-get list. I did not actively go look on eBay to see if I could buy one of these. So, there's that. If I could buy it complete for like $15 or $20, I probably would have.
Yeah, that's not bad. I think to me, in my brain, I would register, that's about how much this game's worth.
It's hard for me to go out and buy a loose copy knowing that I can find some of them out in the wild. So unless it's just a game that I have strong ties to, for me to buy it loose, I'm either getting a super good deal or it's got to have some personal sentiment. I would never buy this one loose off eBay.
Yeah, no.
If I found it at the $2 bin at the damn junk store, probably buy it.
Yeah. I agree with that.
All right. We are a little bit different, Josh. We both have Sunset Riders, Battle Tees, and Double D's. Final Fight Guy.
Yep.
Venom, Spider-Man, Separation Anxiety.
Still love that.
You went Brunswick World Bowling.
Yep.
Radical Rex Speed Racer.
Yep.
I went Radical Rex, Brunswick,
and then
Speed Racer. So we're switched. We're one off.
So last week I talked about my reasoning for Brunswick. I want you to talk about your reasoning behind this before ranking. Okay. And where you rank it.
Okay, so once again, going on a wild guess that Sunset Riders, Battletoads, Final Fight Guy, and Venom and Spider-Man, which I feel like there's a big gap between Final Fight
there
and
is.
Separation Anxiety.
There is. This does not fill that gap.
Yeah, they're safe.
Yeah,
they're on
this
Mount
does
Rushmore.
not fill that gap.
There's not a gravel falling off the top of that mountain.
No.
So it comes down to Radical Rex, Brunswick, and Speed Racer. Radical Rex is way better than it. In my opinion, even though I didn't really care for Brunswick was better than it.
Yep. So that leaves Speed Racer. Which is worse? Which one of these games is worse for you? Talk it through here.
So, Speed Racer, here's the problem I have with Speed Racer. Here's the problem I have with Mighty Max. Mighty Max is something that I don't care about, that I never had growing up, that I never watched the cartoon, and it's shitty.
Okay.
Speed Racer, I watched a little Speed Racer. It was remotely cool in the fucking early 90s. But you know what? I'm not like no fanboy of it. Mighty Max was a complete game that I just sucked from the get-go, and it sucked all the way through. Speed Racer gave you a god-awful racing stage that fucking sucked. And then it gave you a platformer that fucking sucked. So I'm putting Mighty Max one step above Speed Racer because Speed Racer took two swings at it, two different aspects, and they both sucked.
And they failed miserably.
And Mighty Max just sucked. It was what it was. So I feel like Speed Racer put more effort and it sucked. And I feel like Mighty Max didn't try and it sucked. So for you to put effort, and if you put the effort, if you both are level at the last place, and one person said, I didn't really try, and one said, I gave it my best effort. I gave you two different aspects.
I gave you
your effort, I appreciate it. You suck worse than the people that didn't try. So, Speed Racer falls down to the bottom. I got Mighty Max at number 7. That's where I got it at. They're close. Like, don't get me wrong.
So, here's mine. My aspect is this.
The difference between Mighty Max and Speed Racer is trying to pick a turd up from the clean end.
Yeah. So, my aspect is this. I give Speed Racer a little tip of the hat.
Okay.
They tried twice.
Okay, so you're going between Brunswick, Radical.
Oh yeah, 100%. This is definitely bottom of the barrel.
Brunswick, Radical Rex, and Speed Racer.
Yeah,
where we're
right. This is 100% bottom of the barrel. This is fight for 7th place.
Okay, so it's just Radical Rex and Brunswick is safe. It's Speed Racer or Mighty Max, the same as me. Okay.
So, but I think Speed Racer, they tried twice.
Mm-hmm.
They put in the effort.
Okay.
Mighty Max just threw you this fucking game with no changes, no nothing. They didn't change any of the level designs that I know of. The first 5 level designs were the same concept. Go around, collect the machine parts to build the ultimate Megazord, throw it in a portal.
Okay.
Speed Racer. You had semi-racing, semi-platforming. I give you a little tip of the hat. Their platforming was actually a little bit more tolerable. The racing was absolutely atrocious.
Racing, it's like, what the fuck?
The Mighty Max, the entire game was atrocious to me. Mighty Max is number 8.
Okay.
I guess Speed Racer just a little tip of the hat.
So I got Sunset Riders, Battletoads, Double Dragon, Final Fight Guy, Separation Anxiety, Radical Rex, Brunswick, Mighty Max, Speed Racer. You got Sunset Riders, Battletoads, Final Fight Guy, Separation Anxiety, Brunswick World Bowling, Radical Rex, Speed Racer, and Mighty Max at the worst.
Yep.
Yeah, it's bad.
Like I said, that's just where I'm at with it because...
You know, when this is my thinking. So you play a game and you're like, hey, this game's pretty fun. Is this in the top 100? And IGN ain't got it in their top 100. And then you're like, well, I'm looking at some of them. I'm like, it might be in mine. You know, maybe it's not a top 100 game. I mean, there's 700. So there's so many that I've not played.
A lot
you don't know
there.
what's out there. Because I bet there's going to be at least 10 of them that I've never played that's going to blow my mind. They'll be in my top 100.
Yeah.
And probably that surprise factor is going to get me. So a lot of times I can say, well, I don't know if this game is out of 700. You know, I'm just going to roughly call the halfway point 350. I know it's a little bit more than that. But I sit here and I'll be playing something and I'll be like, this isn't, by the time we rank everything that I know of and the stuff that I don't think this is a top 100 game, but this is a top 200. I don't know that this is a bottom 100 game. I feel like it's pretty close. Like, in Speed Racer, but then it's like, how many other shitty games are there? Like, I never even understood how shitty Untouchables were.
Yeah. I think that Mighty Max, Speed Racer are definitely going to be in the bottom 150.
In my heart, I feel like they deserve a bottom 100 ranking, maybe the higher part of that. But then I'm like, there's other shitty games. I'm like, it's definitely, without a doubt, in the bottom 200 for
Oh, yeah, that's why I'm
games.
giving it benefit of the doubt of the 150. The bottom 150. But this game was just fucking bad. And again, I give Speed Racer a little tip of the hat. They tried twice. I give them that.
Okay. So, we're going to do some predictions, Josh.
Fuck, I don't even know, man.
Well, let's just try to figure, let's connect the dots to what the ties are.
I tried with Brunswick and it didn't work. Okay, so
let me tell you a little background here before you make a decision.
Okay,
so we got Sunset Riders. Okay, arcade game, fun, battle T's and double D's. I know at least Double Dragon had an arcade. I don't know if Battletoads did.
I don't know if they did.
I don't know. I don't think that game itself had one, but you kind of base Final Fight Guy. That is definitely an arcade game. Final Fight was, not Final Fight Guy so much.
Yeah.
So then you get separation anxiety, so you're going after Marvel, superheroes, cartoons. Radical Rex, I don't even know what you want to say about it.
It's just a platformer.
You got sports game. You had Speed Racer, which was based off an animated series. Mm-hmm. Mighty Max
was based off of a cartoon.
Based off an animated series. Both of them had toys.
Okay.
I know where I'm going to go to call my shot, and it's pretty broad.
Okay.
But I don't know if that helps you just sounding it out. Mind you, Mighty Max was made from the guys that did Kid Cleats or Soccer Kid and Mr. Nuts.
Okay.
So just throwing that out there.
So here's my thought process. Okay. So you had 2 arcade cabinets, right?
Yeah, and you could say 2.5 if you want to count Double Dragon.
I'm not going to count Double Dragons because the way I'm looking at Double Dragons and Battletoads.
Well, technically, Final Fight Guy wasn't an arcade cabinet,
but the family
Final Fight is.
Yeah, that's why I'm calling it arcade cabinet. So if I look at that and I look at Brunswick versus Speed Racer, I can see the connection for some type of sports game.
I was going to say, the connection between Brunswick and Speed Racer, I do not see it, so please enlighten me.
Yeah, I'm going with sports game because of the racing aspect.
Okay.
And then Mighty Max and Radical Rex, platformer. That leaves separation anxiety. Superhero. Going superhero game.
Well, technically, Speed Racer and Mighty Max are superheroes.
No, they're not.
Okay.
No, they're not.
Were you saying cartoon and platforming? I kind of think it kind of gave me a vibe of maybe like, I'm thinking of Pro Stars in the cartoon. I was going to think. I was kind of thinking like a sports game and platforming. That could be Michael Jordan Chaos in the Windy City.
So here's my thing.
Okay.
That superhero game, TMNT.
Okay, well that is you is bold, son.
I am. Sebastian, you bold boy.
I'm gonna go with the instincts. You know, it's like when you say favorite dinosaur on 3. You just say what's on your mind.
No, you say Velociraptor every time.
Who was it that one? Was it DB that said Triceratops?
Yeah,
like,
we looked at him and
fucking
went,
loser.
We looked at him and went, the fuck's wrong with you?
Jesus Christ. Oh my God. So I'm going to go, Mighty Max is going to carry me.
You know what? I think we should invite DB to one of these.
No, absolutely
Why not? It'd be, get him to play one of these fucking terrible games that we played and say, hey, DB, you need to play this. Come see us on Thursday, and I want your input.
Number 1.
We don't have enough beer for him.
No. Number 1, this motherfucker don't even talk to me.
True. He doesn't.
Number 2, he don't even know how to add Discord for fantasy football chat, much less know how to download a ROM or play a fucking video game that ain't a PS4 or whatever. And number 3, then he'd have to show up. You know he's a flaker.
He is a flaker, and then we don't have enough beer for him.
I don't know. I think he's skinny anymore. Nobody likes skinny being. Okay. Mighty Max gave me the feel of it, and it wasn't. It gave me the feel of a Amiga game. Going back to our roots. We're going to play a game that was based or designed or had a release on the Amiga.
Okay, so we're going back to...
So I don't necessarily know it until we look it up, but...
So we're going to go back to Will of Amiga.
Will of Amiga, Season 1, where we did, like 3 or 4 Amigas? It seemed
I think we've done more than that.
So I did feel Amiga feel without the Amiga, so we're going to bring it back in.
Okay. Again, I'm TMNT.
Amiga, and Josh is saying TMNT.
With a little asterisk, superhero.
How many Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games were there on Super Nintendo?
3.
I know you had Tournament Fighters. You had, the Time one.
Yep, number 2.
Turtles in Time.
And then you had the standard cabinet crossover, if I'm not mistaken.
I do think it was.
Was there 4?
No. I think I can only remember 2, and I feel like there's 3.
I think there's 3.
Well, hang on.
So,
hang on.
with an asterisk of a superhero game. This may be our final Power Rangers game. Who knows? Power Rangers are technically superhero. Now, I think it was,
there's only 2. It is
okay.
Turtles and Tom. And then, no. It says Turtles and Tom and then Turtles 4. I thought there was Tournament Fighters on there too, but
Now, if you give me the X-Men game...
No, it is Tournament Fighters and Turtles and Tom. Turtles and Tom is 4.
Okay.
Alright, so that's it. Gonna draw. Be back next week. Hopefully it doesn't suck as bad as Mighty Max.
Let's do it!